Hey, Coach.
Hey Gabe, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. I've been thinking about our last visit. Do you remember your goal?
Well, a lot has been going on, with enrollment. I've been preoccupied, but was the goal about looking at cues?
It's actually quite accurate. Responding to the cues of the parent. What have you noticed in your interactions with the parents since using your goal?
I'm having trouble identifying the goal in practice, so I anticipated our rehearsal.
Anticipation is good. So, this is how the rehearsal is going to go. I will act out the role of the parent in the rehearsal, and you can respond to my cues as my family engagement staff.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm okay. I don't really know. Today is just a day.
Well, I hope today gets better for you.
Thank you. Okay, have a good day.
Okay, bye. I'll see you later.
Okay. Tell me how you felt about the rehearsal.
It's so hard. It's like I recognized the opportunity to use the goal after the opportunity had already passed.
That is completely normal. What was the opportunity that you noticed?
Well, you seem stressed or overwhelmed.
Exactly. You were able to pinpoint some of my cues. Now consider that this is an opportunity for you and I to connect. How might you share your observations of me with empathy?
I would probably say you seem like you have a lot on your mind. Is there anything I might be able to do to support you?
Yes, Gabe. That's a positive way to summarize your observation of her cues. If you consider some of your parent interactions in the past, what cues might you respond to in today's observation?
Well, today's observation will be during a follow-up over a parent's goal. I'm predicting that they'll have some visible cues when the parent shares the outcome of their goal. If it doesn't happen when they share the outcome, I'm sure I can identify some of the parents' cues when we talk about their goal progress.
How can you prepare yourself to identify parent cues?
I may be able to anticipate some parent cues. I can reflect on them, think about how I may state what I observe. I have noticed my response time is getting better if I reflect on what I'm seeing.
I think you're right. These are valuable reflections. Tell me about how you think you may use your goal to engage with parents today.
I feel like I'll be able to respond to the cues of the parents that they might have about their goal's progress.
How do you think responding to these cues might impact your interaction?
I'm hoping it will help the parents see that I value their experience and their feelings. This could strengthen our relationship and help them to feel safe during conversations.
I agree. It could promote progress and motivate parents to achieve their goal.
Okay, she should be arriving any moment.
So, with your goal in mind, tell me a couple of things that were a success.
I will admit it was still difficult to identify when to use the goal. I always feel like I'm waiting for the right moment.
Well, that's perfectly fine. You determine your process and pace. What successes can you recall with labeling the parents' cues? Think about when she shared her progress.
Okay, I did notice and state that she seemed surprised to share that she accomplished her goal.
You did label her cue of being surprised. I'm curious to know, how did you conclude that she might have been surprised?
I noticed how her eyes widened and her eyebrows raised. She even moved her head back and shook it in amazement when she mentioned that she enrolled in a fitness program and had consistent attendance.
You've really focused on the cues of this parent. Were there any other times you felt successful with using your goal?
Well, I tried, but I could not figure out how to say it in a strength-based way. She looked irritated when I suggested continuing with a similar goal, so I didn't want to label her cue.
In that example, how did you respond?
I told her she didn't have to continue a goal with the same pathway. But I saw how excited she was, so I figured it would be a reasonable next step. Then I asked her what she had in mind.
Sounds to me like you did use your goal by empathizing with her. Let's talk about labeling. How else could you have labeled her cues? Take your time, there is no wrong answer.
I think I could have said, it looks like this isn't your preference. It's okay. It's up to you. I just noticed how excited you were and that you were very successful, so I figured it'd be a reasonable next step.
Sounds to me like you labeled and responded with empathy by simply adding one small phrase to your sentence.
It seems that it gets easier as I practice doing it.
Practice makes progress. I also noticed your body language as you responded to the parent. Your facial expressions were appropriate to the parent's cues. Had you noticed that?
I hadn't even noticed. So much goes unnoticed during a small interaction. But I'm glad to hear my response was not only appropriate, but complimented my goal.
Based on your comfort level, what type of support would you like for our next visit?
It feels like I'm getting the hang of it, but I really liked how we rehearsed the practice before the parent came in. But next time, I will try with no rehearsal. So I was hoping to get support with prompts next time.
Well, that sounds like a plan. How do you feel about letting the parents know that on their next visit, you'll have your coach join you for observations?
I feel comfortable updating all my parents about your visit. I can always remind them about your role as my coach. They might need a reminder that you're here to observe my interactions and support me in providing high quality care, which might include things like small reminders or prompts to ensure I maximize my effectiveness in my interaction. I'd like to continue the goal though. I think I'm getting the hang of it. I want to do pickup time on Thursday.
Okay, pickup time on Thursday works with my schedule. Our next visit is all planned, so I'll come out next week and we can identify and observe with prompts. Keep responding to the cues of the parents, and we'll share next time about any changes you've noticed with using your goal. See you next Thursday.
I'll see you next Thursday.